What's up, gaming heroes, and welcome back to another awesome World of Warcraft video. My name is Erosium, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at gold making, a beginner's guide to WoW Shadowlands. We're going to be covering all of the different various methods that you can use to make gold in World of Warcraft and try to get to it as efficient and as effectively as I can. If I miss anything off this list, please feel free to go into the comments and just add it there, because hey, let's try and help as many people as we can. Speaking of help, you can check out my Patreon where you can get access to my unique gold guides that I don't always share on YouTube. But without further ado, let's get into the video. One really popular way to make gold in World of Warcraft Shadowlands is doing what are called coolings. You can get 3 of these each week. You got one here for me is aiding Revendreth, another one to Revendreth, and then a third one to Revendreth. So that basically means that if I pick these quests up, I can simply head over to Revendreth, it's just here, and if I'm using an add-on such as the World Quest Tracker, I can easily and efficiently see what quests are where and exactly what they will offer in terms of just general rewards. So I know if I want to prioritize the gold one or the anima ones, and these will allow me to complete these coolings. And effectively, what that will give me is renown, valor, and tribute to the core. Now, I figured out that tribute to the core is worth between 3,000 and 5,000 gold in raw gold. This means you don't have to interact with the auction house. You literally complete the cooling, and then you come over to the vendor, and you simply sell the items to the vendor. Completing these coolings is actually really easy. Most of them, like, you can do just like one big world quest that will complete the entire cooling as it is, and also give you a whole ton of anima. Fantastic. We got this world quest completed, and we also managed to get this cooling completed, which is complete one of the difficult challenges in Revendreth. So with that being complete, I can simply teleport back to my covenant and hand in this wonderful cooling. Boom. Okay, this is now handed in, and I've been given the favor of the court. As I mentioned to you already, this is actually an item that when you right click it, it'll give you random goods that you can sell to a vendor. Let's right click it. Ooh, we got a goat soul. That's interesting. So if I come here, you can see that this here is worth 1,183 gold. This is worth 514. That's really good. And we also got this random goat soul as well, which is always a winner chicken dinner. So just doing the 3 coolings gets you a metric buttload of just gold. It's really good. And if you don't believe me, this is one of the ways that I've managed to reach 2,470,000 gold so far. If you have various alts and you like leveling, then doing coolings is a really good way, because you can just log into each alt and do your coolings on those alts. The second one is by completing world weekly quests. These are the quests which typically offer you 250 anima, but if you're renowned level 47 or above, you'll actually be given 500 anima instead. This is really useful, and the reason it's really useful is you can get potentially 2,000 right here. So there's 2 quests here that will give 500 anima each. We got another one in Revendreth, and then we got another one in Bastion right now. I can get 2,000 anima right now from these quests, and then simply come over to my covenant and exchange that anima for gear. I can then disenchant that gear and sell the disenchantable goods on the auction house, or I can simply sell that gear back to a vendor at a later time for some raw gold. Additionally, just doing those weekly quests will net you a good chunk of gold directly from the mobs that you're actually killing for those world quests. Completing these world weekly quests will also provide you with enough anima in order to use the mission table, which is our third method of making gold in World of Warcraft Shadowlands. Once you've hit level 60 in World of Warcraft Shadowlands, you can choose a covenant. If it's your first time going through the game, that's when you'll basically choose your covenant. You'll be able to choose from the Kyrian, the Necrolords, the Venthyr, or the Night Fae. Once you've chosen that, you have the option to upgrade buildings within your sanctum, which is basically what the covenants are called, like their areas of, I guess, worship are called. So show me the sanctum, I can click this, and it basically gives me the option to upgrade certain buildings. If you go ahead and build your command table first, this is really good to do because it will give you access to some really good gold making potential. Your mission table might look different to mine. That's because I'm using an add-on called Venture Plan. I'm going to click complete all. It's going to give me several bits of anima, a bit of gold. We've got 300 gold from there. We've got some pet charms. We've got some champions fish cash. It's going to give us a bunch of fish that we can sell on the auction house. With these polished pet charms, I can exchange these for pets, which I can then sell on the auction house for a banging profit. This is effectively what the mission table looks like, and to use it with this add-on, it makes it super easy. I simply click one of my champions that basically help me with these missions, and then I go ahead and I just put as many champions as I can. With it being an XP mission, I want to put as many champions as I can because they each get their own individual share of experience. Now, if I'm doing like one mission and I don't want to send like loads of people on that one mission, I'll go ahead, send one person and click this Cursed Tactical Guide. This Cursed Tactical Guide will automatically fill it out with some random troops that are nothing to do with your companions, who will basically be filler for you completing that mission. Really, really good way of doing it. Okay, lovely. Now I've got all those ready, I can click Send Tentative Parties. The way to earn gold from this is really doing all of these gold missions whenever possible. They're so easy to complete, and usually they're between 3 and 4.5 hours. If you upgrade your mission table all the way up, it will be even quicker. But the key to this is really just get as many missions done as possible. It's very important that you know this is the first time in any expansion of World of Warcraft where we've had a progressive mission table, which is leveled up by completing missions. So this is Adventure Campaign Progress. Level this up. You've got to really level this up, because the more you level up, the better rewards you will get from the mission table directly. Therefore, it's really important that I go ahead and complete any adventure level mission that I can, as long as my followers are a high enough level to complete it. That's why I've prioritized getting my characters, leveled up, all of their followers leveled up, so that I can do more adventure campaign progress, and therefore level this up even higher so that I can get better rewards. That's why I've got a blue bag of meat here rather than just a grey bag of meat. Out of all my gold making methods, I would say the mission tables is one of the key things that I've done to actually make huge amount of gold on all of my characters, and basically got me to 2.5 million gold so far just with mission tables. The next best step to make some gold is simply selling things on the auction house. Typically any item that is white in title or above, being green or blue or purple or even legendary if it's possible, you can sell that on the auction house. Now, when you're leveling, you will get a bunch of these items, and it's definitely worth selling every single one of those on the auction house if it's possible. If you're having trouble figuring out how much something is worth, I highly suggest you install an add-on called TSM. This stands for Trade Skill Master. You can go to the Trade Skill Master website directly, which is tradeskillmaster.com, and install TSM, the add-on. This is really important if you are going to get this add-on, that you get it directly from the website. And the reason for that is you will get an app helper, which is what I've got right now, and I'll show you that. And this effectively keeps you up to date with all of the database information as to how much items are worth across all the realms in the world. And this is so useful for figuring out exactly how much something is worth on your specific realm or in your specific region. Simply download the TSM4 add-on and then download the app helper, and this will basically keep your add-on automatically updated as long as you have installed the application helper and have also set up your account with Trade Skill Master, which is completely free, and you can put your specific realm on there to get your most accurate prices. Now, this is obviously the World of Warcraft way of looking things. This is the WoW UI, but if I switch this now to the TSM4 one, which is exactly what I use, I can actually go ahead and post items really quickly using that. Now, this video isn't a guide on TSM, as TSM is quite a big add-on, and there's lots of things to learn about that that can massively help you and save you a lot of time. But this is just letting you know that this is how a vast majority of World of Warcraft players will sell things on the auction house, because it's a really quick and efficient way to do it. But typically, if I want to sell all this stuff, it would take me quite a few minutes, but because I've already set things up on my end, I'm able to literally just go ahead and scroll my mouse wheel, and this will allow me to pretty much post all of the items in my bags at the correct prices. And this is just because I've set basically certain parameters as to what prices I want to have for all of my items. I do have videos on my channel that cover TSM in a bit more detail, how to set up your professions to craft and know if it's in profit and stuff like that. But yeah, whenever you get items in World of Warcraft, you always want to be selling those on the auction house, no matter what they are. So in this instance, let's sell these goblin gliders. Let's just get them on the auction house as a cheeky 4,500 gold if they sell. Super duper, power trooper. Let's move on to the next one. The next way to make some gold is doing gathering. There are 3 gathering professions that you can choose from. You can choose skinning, you can choose herbalism, or you can choose mining. All 3 of these have different ways of making gold, but I'm going to show you some of the basic ways that you can go ahead and do that if you're brand new to gathering. By installing the add-on which is called Worth It, and then installing a second add-on which is called Roots, you can go ahead and open Worth It and simply look up the various different mining farms that you can do to make gold in World of Warcraft. In this instance, we're going to look up Elementium ore, and I'm going to click Import Root. So I just got to click this burger menu right here. And for anyone that doesn't know, burger menus is typically where you've got lines all on top of each other that looks a little bit like a burger. Now, because I've got the root add-on as well, this allows me to import the root. If I click this, click Import the root, import, this will now be put on my map. As you can see, this is now on my map. If you're having trouble seeing this at all, it might be because you need to speak to Zidormi and be transported back in time. But either way, in this instance, you can see the exact route that you can take to get an absolute load of Elementium ore and make a really tidy profit at the same time. This gives me the route directly just because I got the add-on called Worth It, and the add-on which works with Worth It is called Roots. Get those two add-ons, and then all you have to do is follow the route, easy peasy, and just pick up as much ore as you can. Now, a really good tip for anyone that's brand new to like farming ore in particular is once you've got a lot of ore and you're trying to sell it on the auction house, I highly suggest that you smelt some of it, and you also try and sell some of it as bars as well. This is because oftentimes bars sell even more than the actual ore does, which is a really cool little trick, and it just provides you with two different types of auctions. Rather than just selling the ore, you can also sell the bars as well, so you can just do more farming and get back to what it is you like doing in World of Warcraft. Oh, there we go. We got some ore here. Let's get it. Excellent. And we got 7 Elementium ore from one vein, which is around 8 gold on average from my realm. But on the region value average, that is 11 gold 50. Boom. And we also got some volatile water too, which also sells for nearly 17 gold, and even higher if it's a regional. Now I'm on a really full pop realm, so typically this stuff is worth a little bit less because I've got so many other people to contend with. But this is how you can typically make gold, especially if you're brand new to World of Warcraft and you're just trying to get, you know, your first 100,000 gold. And just doing some mining or some herbalism or some skinning is a really good way of making gold. Now, if you use Worth It, it's really useful because you can use this for herbing, you can use it for fishing, you can use it for skinning, you can use it for so many different methods of farming gold. This next method is somewhat a more advanced gold making method for many people, but I'm going to be showing you the very basics of getting started with flipping on the auction house. Flipping is typically where you buy something of high value at a low price and then you sell it back to the auction house at a higher price than you bought it. I do a lot of flipping personally, as it's a really strong way of making gold and it always works. That's exactly why you can see here why I've got a bunch of favorited items, because these are BOE items of Shadowlands and therefore are bought by a lot of level 60s to gear up a fresh alt. This is really important just to get yourself nice and quick gear. So what we can effectively do here is check an item, check the value, and see if we want to buy it. If it's really low and we can make 20,000 gold, we can buy it and sell it back, providing there's no huge amount of competition out there. Now, that's more of a risky, more advanced method of gold making. I'm going to take you to the basics where you can just work out for yourself what it is you like to see. To do this, I'm actually going to go to trade goods and I'm just going to look at things like metal and stone. And when you look at metal and stone, you can typically see lots of auctions and whether they're worth it. So you see right here, they all seem to be almost the same price. And you're going to have to reset a huge market here to make it worth it. It's not really going to be worth it in this instance. Given this instance, this could be worth it as you're looking at about a 1 gold disparity between the two. You could effectively buy this tin and sell it back at 5 gold, 34 silver, making you a nice tidy profit on the 41 that you're doing. This isn't a huge amount of gold, but when you do it across hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of items, you're going to make a huge amount of profit in time to come. What a lot of players do in World of Warcraft, especially in Shadowlands, is they'll actually go through all of these Shadowlands materials and they'll be buying them all week. And then when Wednesday comes, when everyone's getting ready to go into the raids and go fight those bosses, they need to buy all of these materials so that they can craft raid consumables. Now, because you've been buying the materials all week at cheap prices, on Wednesday, the prices tend to shoot and skyrocket into the stratosphere. And that's when you can sell those materials back to the auction house for an absolute banging profit. So this Sinfear ore right here was 16 gold for 3. This could be a really good opportunity for you to make some good gold. Typically, you could buy this and then on a Wednesday sell it back, and it might be worth 25 or even 30 gold at the time, because that's how quick the market moves. This is an amazing thing to do, especially with herbs. Virgil's Touch is really good to buy and then sell later on Wednesdays. it's such a good market to reset. Now, if you're using TSM, it's a really good little way of checking is to actually create a group with items that you want to like regularly see. So for me, if I click groups, I've got a search here already made, which has all of my island transmogs that you can get from doing island expeditions. I've got every single one of these. I've even shared this on my Patreon, so anyone who supports me on Patreon can actually get access to all of my island expedition transmogs lists like here, and they can do this scan for themselves. But effectively, I just click run scan, and this is going to find every single item I've got on that list and basically tell me if it's worth buying or not. See this percentage mark on the right side here? This tells me if it's of market value or if it's above market value or if it's below market value. This really helps me make a decision on whether I should buy it or not. So you can see right here that I've done a bunch of searching. I've got a bunch of items up here and I can kind of see if these are worth resetting or not. Now I'm looking here. This looks like a really good opportunity to buy an item here. This item is worth, I can see, a region market value average of 9,000 gold. And it's currently on the auction house for 500 gold. And there are only 2 of them. This is a really good opportunity. Now, it is worth noting that there is one auction here that is listed for 2,000 gold. I think I can afford to buy all 3 of these and sell them back to the auction house at a higher price. That's what I'm going to do. Brilliant. I bought all 3 of those, and now I'm going to sell those back to the auction house at around 4,000 to 5,000 gold because I didn't really want to reset that final one there. I could have, but I don't want to hold on to too much stock. It's really important that when you get a bit of gold and you're doing flipping, you don't over-invest into one market and end up with too much stock. These Geocrag Stompers are an absolute banging price, so I'm going to buy both of those as that one's only 340 gold, and it seems that person's reset it to how much? 1,000 gold? Yeah, we can buy that as well. And then the next price on that is 23,000 gold. So we're definitely going to be able to sell those back at that price, which is a really, really good thing to do. You only really want to do this on items that actually look good as well. So it's definitely worth checking that out as well. I can see another couple here that I can buy and sell at a higher price as well. There are so many awesome opportunities to make a lot of gold with Island Expedition transmogs. That's why I tell people to check out my Patreon so they can get access to my Patreon strings for TSM. Fantastic. And now we're just quickly going to post all these items and you can see how much gold we're making from selling these transmogs from the island expeditions back. And I could do the exact same thing with all the materials. It just so happens that I'm focused mainly on transmogs, as I think it's a collectible item that a lot of World of Warcraft players will want to actually farm. So right here, you can see I've got, just under 2 million gold worth of items on the auction house, and I keep this regularly stocked up with more items. So you can see here, I've got loads and loads of items, and the gold just slowly but surely ticks in. Another fantastic way of making gold in World of Warcraft is actually doing crafting. This is effectively where you go to any of the major cities in World of Warcraft, such as Stormwind, Ironforge, or, Orgrimmar. It depends on what faction you are, really. You go to one of those major cities and you pick up some professions. You can take 2 crafting professions if you want to, or you can take 1 gathering and 1 craft. It's really up to you how you want to do it. For me personally, I've gone for tailoring and enchanting here, and these are my primary crafting professions I do on my realm. Now, to look at whether it's worth it to actually craft things, you've got an option here. You can either search up the item using the auction house, and it will tell you exactly how much it is worth at the different item levels. Let's look at the item level 200, and that's worth around 2,700 gold. Now, I can now look at, how much it's going to cost to craft it individually and try and figure out all the mathematics behind it, or I can save myself a lot of work and effort by simply opening up the TSM4 version of this, and it will automatically work that out for me and tell me how much profit I can make from crafting some of these items. This is a really good way of doing your crafting. Now, for myself, because I've already gone through all the efforts of creating my groups and everything like that, I've got tailoring groups, I've got enchanting groups, and this effectively shows me all of the things that I will craft that will be in profit. I then set myself operations where I have a minimum profit amount that I am expecting to have from each item that I craft. So I want 250 gold profit minimum in order to bother even crafting it in the first place. So simply when I'm coming to do a restock on this character and I need to craft a bunch of items that are worth 250 gold profit minimum, I just click restock groups, and TSM has a think for a second and says, all right, Erosium, this is all the things that you need to craft in order to make a huge amount of gold. Now, you do have to keep an eye on this because sometimes it does input items that, you know, are just really unrealistic for things that you're going to craft, which is never a good thing for you at all. So just keep an eye on that. But overall, you can really see that there are a huge amount of items that I can go ahead and craft here. Now, TSM is really good because once you populate this group here, you can go ahead and click gathering, and you can select your character. In this instance, it's Erofam, and you can open your task list like so, and then it will open up a whole task list for things that you need to do. So this is telling me now that I need to go buy some materials from a vendor, or I need to go and browse the auction house. Okay, let's browse the auction house, and this is telling me all of the shopping things that I need to buy from the auction house to craft the items I need to craft. Once I've bought everything from that, I can reopen up my tailoring right here and my enchanting, and I can simply just go through the list and craft each individual item. Once that's done, I simply reopen the auction house and I click post my gear. So it's that easy. Now I just simply post it all, and it all gets posted to the auction house, and we can make a banging profit like that. Doing crafting is such an incredible way to make gold on World of Warcraft because it's so consistent and it keeps just flowing and flowing and flowing. This next method of farming is actually going ahead and doing some transmog farming. Right now, I'm in a Saltstone Cave, which is over in Tanaris. You just simply go to Tanaris and you can easily fly over to the cave. Cave is just in Thousand Needles. It's really, really easy to get to. Just go to the Caverns of Time portal, and then you can fly over to the cave that I'm in right now. All I'm doing right now is killing these ogres until they drop a piece of gear that is of like value, basically. And then when I get that gear, I'm going to go to the auction house and I'm going to sell that gear for an absolute huge amount of profit. So I can see that these braces here are only worth 148 gold in my realm, but the region value is 3,300. I'm not going to sell these just because I know they're braces and typically people aren't going to really be bothered about buying braces. But if I get a really nice piece of like chest equipment or a really nice weapon or something like that, I know that I can sell that gear to the auction house. This is a really fun way of making gold because all you need to do effectively is just run around playing monsters until they drop you a nice lucky piece of loot. For someone brand new to gold making, this can be really fun. But what's really important to remember, you do this sort of gold making, it takes some time to sell transmogs because it's considered a collectible item. It's not going to be mega popular and, you know, fly off the shelves. You might need to spend a week or two posting that item before it really starts to sell. And if you're on a really low population realm, you might struggle to sell that item for a good while. If you're on a high population realm, you're going to have a lot better time with the auction house when you're doing transmog farming in particular. Whenever I get a piece of transmog on this character, I actually send it over to my priest who posts it on the auction house. That way I can always carry on my farm and I don't need to quickly run to the auction house and come back and everything like that. It takes too much time, really. The next way I'm going to talk about is farming for pets, mounts, and toys. There are tons of different ways that you can farm for pets, mounts, and toys in World of Warcraft. Right now, I'm doing a mount farm, and for this mount farm, I'm farming a mount called the Dune Scavenger. Capture Dune Scavenger, and this sells for 300,000 gold. Oh, it can sell up to 500,000 gold as well. It usually takes me about 2 weeks to sell it when I do farm it. And all I have to do is literally kill these mobs in Vol'dun, and they're so easy to do. Farming mounts is a extremely difficult thing to do because, you know, you have to kill almost like 15,000 mobs in order to get one mount. But I tell you what, when you do that, you're going to sell a really expensive mount and you're going to earn quite a lot of gold from doing that. So even if it takes you like 5 hours, you've still made at least 60k an hour for your time. So it's really worth just spending that time and doing it. I highly suggest using a druid to do something like this because it allows you to effectively pull lots of mobs without having to run around all over the place like I'm doing on this rogue. All over World of Warcraft, all over Azeroth, there are many different places that you can use to farm for various different things, such as Oldham, where we can farm for the rogue dice simply by pickpocketing the mobs up here, or just going around and killing rare elites until they drop either pets, or if they drop really nice transmogs that you can sell, mounts, or even just battle pets that you can also sell on the auction house as well. It is worth noting that if you do get a battle pet from, you know, just out in your travels, go ahead and right click it. This doesn't mean that you can't sell it on the auction house. In fact, it means that you can sell it on the auction house. You just have to put it into a cage like so. This will basically put it as an item in your bags to sell on the auction house. Whereas if you just try and sell the original pet in its raw form rather than its battle pet form, you'll have some difficulty selling that on the auction house. It's definitely worth actually collecting that pet once and then putting it in a cage to sell onto the auction house. Pets, mounts, and toys are a crazy good way of making gold in World of Warcraft. I highly suggest you check out some various different guides on how you can farm different pets, toys, and mounts in WoW to make a banging profit. If you want to have a good place to start with the BFA mounts, as the BFA mounts have some really good farms where you can make a lot of gold if you actually get those mounts. If you also want to just subscribe to the channel here, you can actually stop by one of the streams where we farm them live here on YouTube every Monday and Friday evening. The final way that you can make gold in World of Warcraft that I would highly suggest to people if they hate having to deal with the auction house is to actually just do raw gold farming. It's worth noting that because you're not dealing with the auction house, this is going to be less gold than you would typically get if you were selling these items onto the auction house. So this is where you effectively go into old raids of World of Warcraft, like very old raids, and you simply kill bosses. You kill bosses, you kill trash, and you sell the items to just vendors. I'm going through the Warlords of Draenor ones right now, and this is really easy. All I have to do is run in and kill everything, and because it's old raids, I easily outscale everything, and I can get some great gold from doing this. It's not amazing gold, but it's good gold. It's raw, it's always guaranteed, and I never have to worry about getting drop chances and things like that. I can just keep going through the content and experiencing it at the rate that I like to experience it at. It is worth noting that this has been greatly nerfed. It used to be really good back in the day, but Blizzard did really hardstyle nerf this method of gold making because basically bots were abusing it. You get people who could program World of Warcraft characters to be completely automatic, and they were basically going into these raids and farming them constantly all day, all night, and they ruined the World of Warcraft economy. This is really bad for the average player, so Blizzard basically decided to put a stop to it and reduce the amount of gold to basically make it not worth it to the botters to do stuff like that. So right now you can see I just got a bunch of epics, and these epics can be sold for a fair amount of gold. So you know, 5 gold here, another 5 gold there, another 4 gold there, another 6 gold there, another 2 gold there. It's not the most insane amounts, but it's good enough to make it a little bit worth it. And there we have it. They are the best ways that you can make gold in World of Warcraft if you're brand new to World of Warcraft. You now have a good indication as to exactly how you can make some great gold in WoW. I really hope this video was of some value to you. You've got some great information from it. If you did, please consider subscribing. And if you want to support me, check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. Make sure you join the Discord where you can get access to other World of Warcraft players who will help you out with any questions you have at all. Thanks for watching. This is Erosium, out.